The Amphisbaena /aemfsbn/aemfsban/ or aemfsbian/ plural Amphisbaeni, ancient Greek, alpha mu phi iota sigma beta alpha iota nu alpha, is a mythological ant-eating serpent with a head at each end. The creature is alternatively called the Amphisbaena, Amphisbaen, Amphisboena, Amphisbaena, Amphista, Amphivaena, Amphivena, or Amphivena, the last two being feminine, and is also known as the mother of ants. Not verified in body. Its name comes from the Greek words amphis, meaning both ways, and baenin, meaning to go. According to Greek mythology, the Amphisbaena was spawned from the blood that dripped from the Gorgon Medusa's head as Perseus flew over the Libyan desert with her head in his hand. After which Cato's army then encountered it along with other serpents on the march. One Amphisbaena fed on the corpses left behind. The Amphisbaena has been referred to by various poets such as Nicander, John Milton, Alexander Pope, Percy Bysshe Shelley, Alfred Tennyson, M. A. Césaire, A. E. Houseman, and Alan Mandelbaum as a mythological and legendary creature. It has been referenced by Luke and Pliny the Elder, Isidore of Seville, and Thomas Brown, the last of whom debunked its existence. The Amphisbaena has a twin head that is one at the tail end as well, as though it were not enough for poison to be poured out of one mouth. Pliny the Elder, Naturalis Historia. The Amphisbaena, however, is a snake with two heads, one at the top and one in the direction of the tail. When it advances, as need for a forward movement impels it, it leaves one end behind to serve as tail, while the other it uses as a head. Then again, if it wants to move backwards, it uses the two heads in exactly the opposite manner from what it did before. Claudius Aelianus, Characteristics of Animals 2. The Amphisbaena grows twin heads, one in the proper place, and the other where the tail should be. For this reason the snake glides in a circular shape as the heads, contrary to what is right, strain from both ends. Solinus, Polyhistor 3. These early descriptions of the Amphisbaena depict a venomous, dual-headed snake-like creature. However, medieval and later drawings often show it with two or more scaled feet, particularly chicken feet, and feathered wings. Citation needed. Some who even depict it as a horned, dragon-like creature with a serpent-headed tail and small round ears, while others have both necks of equal size so that it cannot be determined which is the rear head. Citation needed. Many descriptions by whom of the Amphisbaena say its eyes glow like candles or lightning, but the poet Nicander seems to contradict this by describing it as always dull of eye. He also says from either end protrudes a blunt chin, each is far from each other. Nicander's account seems to be referring to what is indeed called the Amphisbaenia, a group of real. The Amphisbaena is said to make its home in the desert. In ancient times, the supposedly dangerous Amphisbaena had many uses in the art of folk medicine and other such remedies. Pliny notes that expecting women wearing a live Amphisbaena around their necks would have safe pregnancies. However, if one's goal was to cure ailments such as arthritis or the common cold, one should wear only its skin, for by eating the meat of the Amphisbaena one could supposedly attract many lovers of the opposite sex, and slaying one during the full moon could give power to one who is pure of heart and mind. 5 Lumberjack suffering from cold weather on the job could nail its carcass or skin to a tree to keep warm, while in the process allowing the tree to be felled more easily. In the Book of Beasts, T.H. White suggests that the creature derives from sightings of the worm lizards of the same name. 7 These creatures are found in the Mediterranean countries where many of these legends originated. The Codis Casanatense, circa 1540, a Portuguese book describing the areas the Portuguese had visited, includes an illustration of the flora and fauna of India. One of the animals shown is a two-headed snake, with one head on each end, much like an Amphisbaena. The image is captioned, "Two-headed snakes of India are harmless." 8 It is possible a sighting of an animal like this was the origin of the Amphisbaena. In John Milton's Paradise Lost, after the fall and the return of Satan to hell, some of the fallen angelic host are transformed into the Amphisbaena to represent the animal by which the fall was caused, i.e. a snake. 9 Amphisbaena appears in some editions of the tabletop role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. Amphisbaena has appeared in several video games as an enemy or boss monster, including La Milana and Bravely Second and Lair. A creature called Amphisbaena appears in the games Castlevania, Symphony of the Night and Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, but bears little resemblance to other renditions of the creature, appearing as an eyeless four-legged reptile with the upper body of a human woman sprouting from its long tail instead of a double-headed serpent. In the 1984 animated film Gallivants, an Amphisbaena, called a Vanterviper in the film, appears as a minor antagonist. The two heads, a red one named Edel and a blue one called Feis, frequently disagree and argue, and sing a song about their miserable plight. The Amphisbaena is mentioned in The Last Wish from the Witcher series by Andrzej Sapkowski, while protagonist Geralt of Rivia recalls past events. The Amphisbaena was endangering the region of Kavir until the beast was slain by Geralt's hand. Amphisbaena is referenced in RW by, an animated web series created by Monty Oum, in the form of an evil creature called Grim. Of the different Grim, the Amphisbaena appears to be the king Taijichu, a two-headed snake or serpent. The king's name references the Taijichu, a symbol or diagram in Chinese philosophy representing Taiji in both its monist and dualist aspects. The Grimm's coloration visually symbolizes the Taijichu, with one head and body section black and the opposite side white. The Amphisbaena appears in the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episode Battle Nexus, New York. This version is one of the known champions of the Battle Nexus. Big Mama had Michelangelo and Meat Sweats compete to feed each of its heads in order to satisfy the Amphisbaena. They managed to work together to pull it off. Brandon Sanderson's novel Skyward has a character whose name is Arturo Mendez. His call sign is Amphisbaena.